Hello, welcome to the 30k channel. I'm your host David.
And I'm Boris.
And we are back for another game of Zone Mortalis. It is hard to not get enough of this board.
It's so much fun. Having been denied it for so long, it's so much fun coming back to it.
It is cool. And we've got a bit of a treat. We've got a double hype board. Woo! Now, it's robbed me of all of my parts, bar the columns. So it's quite an intensive, heavy board. But it was lots of fun to build. And there is a board build video that accompanied this game. Boris, what we got?
Death Guard, Iron Hands, Mechanicum.
Holy hell.
Bit of an elite unit fest this game.
Yeah.
We have a borrowed army.
Yeah, by a gentleman called Fantastic Pete is what I'm going to call him. We can't reveal too much about him, but he does quite a serious job, so we don't want to get him into trouble. But Pete, if you're watching, thank you so much. These Death Guard are unbelievable. And my eyes lit up when I got a message from Pete, because obviously I'm embarking on a Death Guard journey myself.
Yep.
And the chance to have a bit of a practice or see them in action firsthand is a real treat. So they were dropped off today, and I said to Boris, let's get these on now.
Yeah, they're a little bit of a favourite of mine, of Death Guard, and it's going to be so much fun getting a chance to play them.
Yeah. And Pete constructed a really elite force. He's got Mortarion. I think there's like 30 Terminators in the list. He's got a load of Death Shroud, some more other Terminators, and he's got some Destroyers and various other bits and a ton of vehicles. So we will do a much bigger game of these later on.
Yeah, I think a big sort of frontline style game is in the future.
It's even got a glaive as well. Oh my word. But what have we got today?
Today we have the Death Guard have assaulted a Mechanicum facility on the ground of a planet. The Iron Hands have arrived to take delivery of a vehicle shipment from Allied Mechanicum. Autek Moore is leading the sort of delivery. And the Death Guard have snuck up, teleported in, and launched a hit-and-run attack to try and cripple the Mechanicum, the facility, and the Iron Hands. So we are at the tip of the first engagement as these two forces smash into one another. And we have the Iron Hands, Autek Moores being given a Phalanx bodyguard, and the Death Guard have sent their best, so we have an entire Terminator armoured army.
That's keen, isn't it? So what we've gone for as well, we've given it a slight twist, because I really wanted the Phalanx to be allied with the Iron Hands, and it was like double force org, and it was a bit of a mess with 1,000 points. So to add a little bit of flavour, we've given Autek Moore a small detachment of 3 Phalanx, almost like, Mr. Autek Moore, let's show you around our vehicles. They've got great specifications. This is what we've got. So he's been escorted around by these 3 Phalanx, and then they've been rudely interrupted by the Death Guard. But to balance it out, we've given the Death Guard a special character as well. Yeah,
so both sides effectively have a bonus unit on top of their 1k that doesn't need to be within Force Org. The Death Guard get a Primus Medicae, who has promptly gone to reinforce the Grave Wardens, because why not?
Smart choice, right? Oh my god. And points wise, I think there's about 5 points between the 2 units.
Something like that. They're almost exactly even, so yeah, both sides should get the same bonus.
So we could have just done 1130 for the points, but hey, we tried to complicate things by giving bonuses that didn't really matter. But anyway, it was just cool to add the element of the Phalanx, and it was just a way of balancing it out. Yeah. So it's just a bit of fun, eh?
Ties the story together, looks a lot nicer on the board, and yeah.
Amen. So the mission we are playing is the Assault mission, and it's just the Force the Breach one. So essentially, there's an objective at the centre of each of a 2x2 tile, and at the end of the game, if you control the centre, we'll put a little marker down there. If you control that, you get 2 points at the end of the game. There's Warlord and First Blood, I think, for this one. You get First Blood in these ones.
First Blood.
Yeah, so that's it really. So it'll be nice and quick. Boris, talk to me about your deployment.
Yeah, so we managed to win the roll-off, go first, or deploy first, go first, chose the sort of back left corner from our point of view, hoping that if the Loyalists rolled under 4, they wouldn't get to pick one of the other 2, so they have to come in through that sort of entryway processional with the extra doors, so hopefully sort of hold you up a little bit. We only got 2 squads. There's 4 or 5 units respectively either side, or 5 and 5. So I've put a Primus in with the Grave Wardens, as we said before, 2 units down, nice and close, and we're going to just get nice and close real quick, hopefully.
Yeah. And looking at the Iron Hands detachment, they are just the other side of the walls, about to come into the main complex where the vehicles are. And I can imagine the Magos is giving the spiel and the sales point. Oh, they've got some great firepower. We've upgraded the capacitors on this one. And as soon as they come through the door, they're going to get a nasty surprise of these Death Guard come through. So I've got Autek Moore and his attending Thalax and one 11-man squad of Immortals. And then they will come on, unfortunately, on the back of their deployment zone. So they are going to get a slog before they come into the main force. But let's not forget, you've got to capture those 2 points. So they might capture one in the backfield, or they might go off to the one with the Trias armored conveyors in. So, the Kraknoses in. So we'll have a look and see how it all kind of works out. I'm really looking forward to this.
I'm really looking forward to this. It's going to be a weird one, but I think it's going to get deadly real fast.
Yeah, it's going to be K&A. I am going to try and see. I appreciate you can't see this. You'll have to take our word for it.
Just judge off our reactions.
Oh, that's a 3. All right, we will go into Death Guard turn 1.
Warlord for the Death Guard is a Legion Praetor. He's been upgraded to have Cataphractii Terminator armor, a Combi Plasma, Paragon Blade, and digital lasers. First of 2 Elite's choices is a 5-man Legion Terminator squad. The Sergeant has been given a Death Guard Power Scythe and a Combi Plasma. 2 of the members have Twin Lightning Claws. 1 member has a Plasma Blast Gun and a Chain Fist, and the last has a Combi Plasma and a Chain Fist. Second Elite squad is another 5-man unit of Legion Terminators. The Sergeant has a Combi Plasma and a Thunder Hammer. 2 of these squad have Twin Lightning Claws. The 4th has a Plasma Blast Gun and a Chain Fist, and the last has a Combi Plasma and a Chain Fist. Heavy support are 7 Grave Wardens. Every Grave Warden is equipped identically with Chain Fists and Assault Grenade Launchers. The Death Guard's bonus unit is a Primus Medicae. The only upgrade has been to equip him with Cataphractii Terminator armor.
Leading the Iron Hands is Autek Moore. He's equipped with a Server Arm, Cataphractii Terminator armor, a Volkite Charger, and a Paragon Blade. The first of 3 troop choices are 10 Iron Hands Immortals, all equipped with Volkite Chargers. 2 of them are equipped with Melter Guns. The Sergeant has Artificer armor and a Breaching Charge. The other 2 squads are identical except for the fact they have 11 members. The Iron Hands bonus unit is a Thalax cohort of 3 Thalax. They're equipped with lightning guns and heavy chain blades. They will be attached to Autek Moore for the duration of this battle.
Death Guard turn 1 in its entirety. Both Terminator squads just shuffled round slightly with not much else to do. We weren't in charge range of a door, so no point heading towards them. There was consideration for perhaps shooting one of the doors open with the plasma blasters and combi plasmas from the Legion squad, and then opening up with the assault grenade launchers from the Grave Wardens, but we only had 4 shots. We would have wasted the combi plas, and it would have been 6s to try and glance the door open. So we just shuffled up to give ourselves cover and good position for next turn.
Iron Hands turn 1 movement. Autek Moore and his 10 Immortals, or 11 Immortals rather, have stepped through into the parade ground to have a look at their vehicles, and they spy the Death Guard there lurking behind the Cryos Venator. They've all advanced 6 inches. Unfortunately, no line of sight can be drawn to those Terminators. The Iron Hands will stay still, no running for them, and that is the end of their turn.
Death Guard turn 2 movement. Started with the reserve rolls, rolled a 2, so no reserves coming in for the Death Guard, unfortunately. However, both squads have moved up. The Grave Wardens have continued their move around that transport and bringing their assault grenade launchers into range on the newly arrived Iron Hands. The Legion Terminator squad are pushing forward full speed, and they are going to attempt a couple of shots and then a charge into that Immortal squad. Death Guard turn 2 shooting started with Grave Wardens. Only 4 of the assault grenade launchers were in range. We opened up 8 shots from 2 shots apiece. It led to 24 hits onto the Immortals, which is just great work. 1 did scatter and land 2 hits on the Thalax as well, but we'll come back to those. So pretty good overall. We are poisoned 3 up, so wounding on 3s. We do have Shred in Zone Mortalis for being a blast weapon. So we'll start with 16 at a time. So we have 16 to wounds on a 3 up. Pretty good. And then we get a reroll for Shred. So we got 5 that fail. That's 3 that still fail. So that's 3 So that's 13, and then we'll just quickly roll 8 more. 3s to wound. Pretty good again. And then with Shred, all hit. All wounded, rather.
21 wounds is horrendous. However, the Immortals are wearing Void Hardened Armour. They will get a reroll against Blast, and they have Feel No Pain. So we'll do 10 at a time, because that's all I can fit in my little hand. Let's have a look. I've got a cock dice there, but we failed. Oh, geez. 5 so far. Reroll. So we failed 2. We'll do a Feel No Pain while we're here. Okay, so 1 Immortal falls so far out of that first 10. Now we'll roll the next 11. Reroll those armor saves. Oh, 1 Feel No Pain. Come on. Oh, failed. So 2 Immortals total die to the shots from the Growth Wardens.
Next, 2 hits onto the Thalax unit. We'll see if we can do a wound or 2. Poison 3-ups. Both wounds. So it goes straight through their 4-up armor save.
All right, and now we're just on to Feel No Pain 6+. Oh, none. So the lead Thalax takes 2 wounds.
Next to fire is the Legion Terminator squad. We have 3 plasma weapons there, so we see if we can carry on hammering that Immortal squad that took some damage before. Starting with the Combi Plas at the back of the squad. Rapid fire, 2 shots, hitting on 3s. Oh, we do have a Gets Hot. 1 hit, 2-up armor save, passed. So that's 1 hit. The second Combi Plas on the Sergeant. Get 1 hit and it Gets Hot. 2-up armor save. Oh my word. Okay, so the Sergeant kills himself. Excellent start. And then last we have the Plasma Blaster firing as well. Both hit. So that is 4 hits in total. We are wounding on 2s, even with the Inviolate armor. That is 3 wounds going through the armor save.
Oh, that was a bit tough, wasn't it? All right, so we'll go straight onto their shields, which is a 6-up shield save. So we get 1, and then we go to Feel No Pain 5+. So we failed 2. 1 Immortal goes down, and there is a Sergeant next to him. So we'll roll a Lookout Sir, which was passed, and that kills another Immortal.
Turn to assault phase. We're going to try and follow up that round of shooting with a charge into the Medusan Immortals. However, we have to suffer some Overwatch first.
All right, so reactionary fire check from the Immortals. We need 4 or under to pass, which we do. And there are 12 Volkite shots hitting on 3s. Okay, so here we go. That's not bad. 4 drops so far. This is pretty good. We're Strength 5, Toughness 4, requiring 3s to wound. We'll take that. So that's 2, 4, 6 wounds onto the Terminators.
All right, there is no Sergeant left anymore, as we know, so 6 2-up armor saves. My God. Okay, 2 more die to the Overwatch.
All right, and then finally there is 1 Melter Gun in there. Hits, 2s to wound. Come on. Yes.
All right, and a 4-up invulnerable save. We pass.
Oh, lovely. We're just going to go back and remeasure the charge.
After suffering that horrific Overwatch, what was a 6-inch charge is now an 8. So we'll see if we can get ourselves in and tie up those Immortals. Let's see what we can do. Oh, just on the nose.
Striking in at Initiative 4, the Immortals will go first. They have Immortal Hatred, which means they get to re-roll their first to hit rolls in the first turn. So we require 4s to hit. That was a really good roll. Re-roll these for a full house. No, dropped 1. So 2, 4, 6 hits. And we are Strength 4, Toughness 4, 4s. Dropped a dice. That's pretty good. So 4 wounds in total on the Terminator.
All right, let's see if we can keep up or stop rolling 1s. 2-up armor saves. We still roll 1. So that's another Terminator falls, but there's 1 left. After that tough assault phase, let's see if we can strike back and even this out. We have a single Terminator left. 2 attacks, no bonus for charging due to the boarding shields, hitting on 4s. That is 1 hit. However, we are wounding on 2s. That is enough. Okay, so we have wounded.
All right, so there is a boarding shield in play here, a 5-up. Oh, fail, and that will kill 1 of the Immortals.
Death Guard, end of turn 2. Bit of a variable turn. Our shooting did really a good job of whittling down our opponents, but that Overwatch was blistering, and that Legion Terminator squad seems to be very in favour of rolling 1s. So a drawn combat, so we've locked them up for another turn, which is good, but it would have been good to get a few more bodies further up the board.
Iron Hands turn 2 movement and reserves were very successful despite the Warlord trait of the Death Guard Divide to Conquer, which reduces the rolls by 1. But a 5 and 6 was rolled for both of the Immortal squad, and they are flooded onto the field. A run move was made just to save a little bit of time, as there's not really much happening over this side of the board. And they ran 4 inches and 5 inches with a -1. Autek Moore and the Thalax have moved over to that objective. They can't capture it, but they're just making their way around the cross to try and get a bit of a pincer movement in on the Grave Wardens, or will intercept any of the Death Guard that may come through that big double door. And then the combat continues against the Immortals and the Cataphractii Terminator. Iron Hands turn to assault phase, and we go straight in the combat here with the Immortals and the Cataphractii Terminator. There are 8 attacks, and we require 4s to hit. That was a really good. Oh, jeez. All right, and then 4s to wound. Okay, so that is 4 wounds against the Terminator.
All right, let's see if we can stay in the game. Judging historically, maybe not, but let's see what we can do. 4 saves. We save, finally. So that Terminator is still in the game.
Well, that was a good result, because we didn't want to be exposed to those Grave Ones in the next turn, so pretty pleased. Got ahead of myself there. We've got the Terminator to attack back.
So 2 attacks base, hitting on 4s. No hits, so that is a drawn combat. Nice and easy.
Holy hell. That is the end of the Iron Hands turn. Pretty good. Everything's in, but we're just waiting for the Death Guard to get a little bit closer.
Death Guard turn 3 movement. Starting with reserves, the final squad with the Praetorian did arrive, which was fantastic. Cataphractii armor means they're going to spend a couple of turns moving quite slowly through the board, but they might arrive to sort of clinch the game at the end. The Grave Wardens just pushed up and bringing their assault grenade launchers in to bear. Other than that, our lone Terminator is stuck in combat with the depleted Iron Hands Mortal squad, and we'll see if we can just push forward and claim a bit more of the board. Death Guard shooting turn 3, doing what they do best. The Grave Wardens take aim at Autek Moore and his Thalax bodyguard and place 10 blast markers on the squad, leading to 17 hits. We now have to roll to wound. We are 3 up poisoned, same as before. So, drop 1, 16. And we'll reroll with Shred, reroll these ones. And then we roll 1 more, 17, fails to wound, Shred, still fails to wound. So that is 3, 6, 9, 12, 13 wounding hits on the unit.
That was a blistering firepower there from the Grave Wardens. Unfortunately, we've got a bit of a convoluted Lookout Sir sequence here, so it's a bit of a pain, but we'll start off with 3 wounds on the Thalax. It bypasses their armour, and then we'll go straight onto their Feel No Pain 6 up, of which we failed, so that will kill the lead Thalax. And now we're going to do some Lookout Sirs. I'll do 3 at a time. It's probably easiest. So we Lookout Sir, passes all of these. Then we go on to a Thalax, 6 up, Feel No Pain, which we fail, and that kills a Thalax. The other one is slightly out of range, so we're not going to be able to use him for Lookout Sir. And now we go on to Autek Moore and 2 up armor saves. Oh, and thankfully he is okay and passed all of his armor saves, but 2 Thalax are killed.
Pretty pleased with the result from the impacts on Autek Moore units. A single blast did scatter into that ongoing combat with the Terminator, and a single hit was done to the Immortal squad. So 3s to hit, or to wound rather, so that is a wound.
All right, 3 up armor for the Immortal, and that passes, so that is good news.
Death Guard turn 3 assault. The only combat is the lone Terminator against that entire Immortal squad. It'd be great if we could hold them up for another turn, deny them their shooting, but the Immortals at initiative 4 strike first.
Oh man, we need some shots to go into those Grave Ones, so we need this to be successful. 8 shots, 4s to hit. That is not bad. We'll take that. So 4 hits, 4s to wound. Come on, 2 wounds.
All right, let's see if his luck can hold up. 2 up armor saves. Oh, classic. So that Terminator does die finally before getting swing back.
Holy hell. All right, and how far do the Iron Hands consolidate? A mighty 6 inches. That is impressive.
End of turn 3 for Death Guard. Not too bad. We've got units on the board. It would have been great to hold up those Iron Hands, and they're looking scary now. We've got reinforcements rushing in, but we are tough and right in the middle of the board, so we can see if we can push the Iron Hands back and show them a lesson.
Iron Hands turn 3 movement, and the Immortals in the backfield here. We did their run moves in the movement phase because it just saves a bit of time, but the left-hand squad there managed a mighty 7-inch move total, but this Immortal unit managed a 10 total. So that was really good news. Autek Moore got back into coherency with the Thalax there, and then finally the Immortals move forward to within a couple of inches of those Grey Wardens, and they will shoot and charge. Iron Hands turn 3 shooting, and the Immortal squad in front of the Grey Wardens will shoot their Volkites. There is 12 shots requiring 3s. Oh, that was terrible. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I knocked that one. It is Strength 5, Toughness 4. So we require 3s. Oh, jeez. Alright, so that is 3 armor saves.
Alright, 2 up Terminator armor saves. All passed, thankfully.
Yeah, we knew that was going to happen. Alright, so now we've got a melter gun in the squad. 3s to hit. 2s to wound. No feel, no pain. Yes, that's good.
There we are. So a single 4-up Cataphractii armor save. Passed.
Ooh, that is tough.
Before the Iron Hands make their charge, the Overwatch was made. Reactionary fire test was passed. The Primus Medicae fired with a needle pistol, hit but failed to wound. We then rolled on the Overwatch from the Death Cloud attacks from each of the Grave Wardens. 12 hits in total from their template weapons. So these are poisoned 3 up. There we go. Oh, that's not too great. 5, 6 failed to wound, but that is 6 wounds onto the Iron Hands Immortals.
All right, so there is, unbelievably, a model with Artificer armor who is second. So we'll do the armored first. Fail, but he gets feel no pain. Fail. Okay, so now we're on the 2-up Artificer. Very cheeky rule mechanic there. Oh, it went out of dice tray. That does not count. Oh, it's always
Feel no
the
pain.
way. 5 up. Save him. No. So the Sergeant and 1 Immortal is dead to the Overwatch. The Iron Hands made it into combat, but unfortunately, due to the cloud, they make a disordered charge. So we only have 5 attacks hitting on 4s. Gets reroll 1s for their, or reroll rather, for the hated enemy, which is required. Oh, look at that. Full house. Strength 4, Toughness 4. 4s required. No sausage. All right, I think those Chain Fists are going to make short work of those Immortals.
Striking back Initiative 1, the Grave Wardens pile in and are going to show the Iron Hands how to do combat. 14 attacks from the 7 Grave Wardens hitting on 4s. That's pretty good. Failing 5 out of 14.
Whoa.
And then these Chain Fists are wounding on 2s. Classic couple of 1s, that's 3 1s, however that is 6 wounds. These are cutting through their armour and denying feel no pain.
Alright, so we go straight on to their boarding shields, which is 5 up in combat, no feel no pain. Oh god. Alright, so we save 2, which is really nice. So there is 1 Immortal left standing. The Immortals have lost that combat by 4. Their leadership is 8, so they need a 4 or under to stay in the fight. That is an 11. I cannot get swept because Cataphractii can't sweep, so we will fall back. Mighty double 1. And the Terminators will consolidate.
A mighty 3 inches.
Alright. End of turn 3 for the Iron Hands. What a nasty little turn that was. We knew that charging into those Terminators was going to be extremely tough, but if anything, it drew the Death Guard a little bit closer to the lines of the Iron Hands. So we'll see how we go in the next turn. We just need to brace to see what will happen with those grenade launchers.
Death Guard turn 4 movement phase. A little bit of thinking. We move the Grave Wardens just left out into a literal firing line. They can't secure that objective behind them as heavy support. However, they can brace ready for the Immortals if they choose to open that door. The squad with the Praetorian moved up 6 and will possibly draw a sight line onto the fleeing Iron Hand Immortal to try and wipe the squad. Other than that, we just have to brace and wait for the Iron Hands to show their play. Turn 4 shooting phase for the Death Guard. We're going to see if we can peel off that last Medusan Immortal and wipe the squad. We're going to leave the Plasma, as that didn't go so well for its brother squad. We're going to fire 3 combi bolters and fire the bolter part to start with. So 4 shots from the Legion Terminators, hitting on 3s twin linked with combi bolter, still a miss. And then 2 shots from the combi bolter on the Praetor, hitting on 2, so that's 5 hits, and wounding on 5s thanks to the inviolate armor of the the Iron Hand all fail. So we'll have to resort to the Plasma Blaster, who'll fire 2 shots, hitting on 3s. 1 gets hot, classic. 2 up armor save, pass, thankfully. So it's a single hit, 2s to wound, and a 1. Iron Hand is very lucky, and the Death Guard need better sights for their guns, I think. Next, the Grave Wardens are going to see if they can show their brothers how to shoot properly. All 7 are going to target that fleeing Immortal, as they can't do much else in the turn. 7 shots, we're going to use the crack grenades and see if we can bring them down. So 7 shots hitting on 3s, not too great. 3 miss, and then we are wounding on 3, strength 6, but down to strength 5 effectively. Those are 2 wounds onto his 3 up armor save.
3 up save from the Immortal. Oh, now we need a feel no pain 5 up to keep him in the fight. Oh man, that is a fail. So that Immortal dies.
End of Death Guard turn 4. Very quick and easy, just cleaning up the house. I think next turn is going to be really bloody. We'll see if we can give back what the Iron Hands have given to us.
Iron Hands turn 4 movement, and they have made a break to expunge the Death Guard from this board, and Autic Maw and his Thalax bodyguard there have moved forward towards a Cataphractii. They will shoot and charge, and then finally this Immortal squad has burst through the door. They will pump everything they can into the Death Guard, and then maybe a charge. We'll have a think about it. Iron Hands turn 4 shooting. We'll start with a Thalax into the front of those Cataphractii, requiring 3s to hit. Brilliant. Strength 7, shred and rending. Cheeky. That is a rend.
All right, straight up into the 4 up armor save. Invuln passed, however, that's great.
Oh, diggity dog. All right, Autic Maw. Murderous Arsenal, so it gets to reroll. Okay, that is good. That's still a hit. 3s to wound. Get to reroll that as well. And that is 1 wound.
All right, now onto the 2 up. Saved.
Oh, diggity. Just a very slight correction. Murderous Arsenal is preferred enemy, and it's re-rolled to hits and to wounds of 1. But thankfully in this case we were okay. Let's see how many Grave Wardens the Immortals can drag down in this round of shooting. First off, we'll start with the Melter Guns, requiring 2 3s to hit. That is a good start. 2s to wound. Boom.
Double wound, all right, straight onto the 4 up Cataphractii Invuln save. 1 pass, 1 fail, no feel no pain. Not too bad.
That is a good start. And then next we'll go on to the Volkites. There are 16 3s to hit. Got a few more dice here. That is not bad. So we drop 4, I think, if I can count correctly. Yeah, that's 5, excuse me. Strength 5, toughness 4, 4 3s to wound. Nice. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 wounds.
All right, 2 up armor saves. Let's see what we can do. Only 1 failed, and then the Primus Medicae does give feel no pain. 5 up? No. So that is 1 wound, 1 more Terminator dies.
All right, so that's a Death of Great. We'll go for that. 3 up. God damn it. All right, so 2 Grave Wardens is not bad. Iron Hands turn 4 assault phase. The Immortals decided not to charge. They've got a good chance of surviving the shots in the next turn, but we are going to charge Autic Maw and the Thalax into the Cataphractii. We require a 5. That is a 3, and that is not going to happen.
Death Guard turn 5 movement phase, possibly last turn of the game, so we're moving up. The Grave Wardens just bunched together after suffering a couple of casualties. They're going to empty all their guns into those immortals that dared to come through and challenge them, and then they're going to try a charge perhaps. Across the other side of the board, our only other unit, the as yet unharmed Terminator squad with the Praetor in, is going to see if they can wipe out Ortek Moore and his bodyguard, and then start maybe consolidate towards the other objective on the other side of the board. Big turn, we'll see what we can do. Death Guard turn 5 shooting phase, and the Grave Wardens are showing why they are so rightly feared in Zone Mortalis. We fired with 10 templates into that really tightly packed squad. A lot of them hit, clipping 6 Marines with every single blast. In the end, we did 37 hits, which translated with the shred and the poison 3-up into 31 wounding hits. We do, however, have the 3-up armor save that is rerollable and a feel no pain. So we'll see immovable object versus unstoppable force, who will win.
And unbelievably, the Sergeant with 95 armor is right at the back. So brilliant stuff. But we do get to re-roll this because we have Void Hardened armor. So we're going to do 10 at a time, requiring 3s. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 fail, but we'll get to re-roll. 1 dead so far. We'll go again. 2, oh, sorry, feel no pain. Oh, 5 up, so it's okay, we're okay. Next 10. 4 fail. Re-roll. Feel no pain. Oh, wow. 1 dead so far. That was 20. We've got 10 more to go. Quite hard with one hand. 1, 2, 3, 4 fail. Re-roll. 2 fail. Feel no pain. Come on, Iron Hands. Okay, so it's another 1 dead. So I think that's 2 dead so far. Now we've got 1 more left to go. Fail. Re-roll. That is a pass. So 2 dead in total. That is not too bad. The only mod left to shoot now is the Primus Medicae with his needle pistol.
Yep, so unbelievably only 2 dead, but we'll fire with the needle pistol. Hitting on 2s, hit, and it is poison 4-up. That is a wound. No AP, so it's just your regular armor save.
3 up. Oh, it was always going to go that way. 5 up. Oh, boom.
Go. Next to shoot, we have the Legion Terminator squad with the Praetor in. We're going to fire all our plasma, including the combi plasmas, into the Phalanx and Ortek Moore. See if we can do some wounds before we charge in. We have to do these one at a time because it gets hot, and we are infamously bad this game. Let's start top to the bottom from our perspective. So Plasma Blaster firing 2 shots, hitting on 3s. Classic 1 hit. Gets hot, armor save, pass, so that is 1 hit. Then we have 2 combi plas from the we'll do the one at a time. The Sergeant combi plas, 1 miss, 1 hit, but no gets hot, thankfully. The combi plas from the regular Terminator, 1 hit, 1 gets hot, 2-up armor save. Oh my word, okay, so another Terminator is dead. And then the Legion Praetor, 2s to hit, both hit. So that is 5 hits in total. 1 dead Terminator. We'll see if this actually comes out as worth it. 2s to wound against the toughness 5. 1 fails to wound. So that is 4 AP2 armor saves.
Let's start with the Phalanx. He has a 6 plus feel no pain. Fail. So now we're on to Ortek Moore. 4 wounds left. 3 wounds left. Okay. He has a 4 plus invulnerable. Let's hope it doesn't kill him off. Passed. 1 and 1 passed as well. So 1 wound dealt to Ortek Moore.
Death Guard turn 5 assault phase. We are going to go in with a charge from the Grave Wardens into those immortals. However, we first have to weather some Overwatch. So reactionary fire test from the Iron Hands.
Yes, 4 under to pass. This is good. And we have 12 Volkite shots to begin with, hitting on 3s. That is terrible. Oh, man. All right, so that is 5 total. Strength 4, 5, toughness 4, 3s to wound. That's not bad. 4 wounds.
All right, no characters. So just all at the same time. 2-up armor saves. Oh, my word. The Death Guard are not feeling well today, so that is 2 Grave Wardens dead.
Feel no pain.
Oh, forgive me. Come on. 5-ups. Oh, there we go. Spoke too soon, and the Primus Medicae shrugs them off.
That is dirty. All right, we'll go with 2 melters. No feel no pain from here, but we do hit 2s to wound. Come on. Good.
There we go. 4-up armor, invulnerable save. No, they do fail. So 2 Grave Wardens do die, but that is much better than the 4 that would have died. Having somewhat survived that horrible fusillade of Overwatch, we have a 6-inch charge now rather than a 4. So here we go. There we go on an 8. The Grave Wardens make it in. Going straight into the next charge, there's no Overwatch as it's a Cataphractii on Cataphractii. We have a 3-inch charge from the Praetor squad into Autek Maw, and an 11 I think we make it comfortably. Started the combat between the Grave Wardens, the Primus Medicae, and the Iron Hands Immortals. The Centurion, the Primus Medicae, has a power sword, so he's going to strike out at initiative. He has 3 attacks, no bonus for charging due to the breach shields, hitting on 3s with weapon skill 5, 2 hits, not too bad, and then wounding on 4s. 2 wounds, there we go. So that cuts through the power armor.
All right, and we go straight on to the boarding shield on a 5-up. Fail, and then 2, feel no pain. So that is 2 Immortals dead. The Immortals are next strike at initiative 4. They have hatred against the Death Guard, so require 4s and re-rolling. Thankfully. So only 1 hit so far. Oh yeah, that'll do. So we do fail 3 total. Oh, I think I knocked that. It doesn't matter. So 3 in total. And now we have strength 4, toughness 4, 4s to wound. Oh dear. 1 wound.
2-up armor save. Passed. We're comfortable. Striking back initiative 1 with Chain Fists, we have the Grave Wardens 6 attacks from their base profile. Striking out, hitting on 4s. That really isn't great. Single hit, however, let's see if we can do a wound. 2s to wound, that is a wound.
Board and shield for the win. Negative. That is 1 Immortal dead. So the Immortals do lose by a difference of 3. Their leadership 9 with a sergeant, and we require 6 or under. Oh, that is a 6. Fantastic news. That combat will continue.
Next up, we have the big combat from the Death Guard's perspective. The Legion Terminator squad and the Praetor into Autek Maw. We issued a challenge with the Praetor, see if we can deal some damage to Autek Maw. We are striking initiative 5. He is initiative 4 base, so we strike first. The Death Guard Praetor has 6 attacks on the charge with digital lasers, hitting on 4s. 3 hits out of 6, not too bad. We are then wounding on 4s. He is base toughness 5. We have +1 strength. We need some 6s. There we go. So we have 1 wound and 1 murderous strike. You want to do those one at a time?
What do you want first?
Let's do the regular wound first. Ratchet up the tension.
All right, 4 up for Cataphractii. That is a save. We need this now.
Murderous strike.
God damn it. Oh!
And there we go. So that is a fail. That's the murder strike. Autek Maw loses both his wounds and dies in the challenge before getting to strike back. That is great news for the Death Guard. The entire squad then consolidates a mighty 1-inch. End of Death Guard turn 5, possibly our last turn, and we've done everything we can to carry on and stay in this combat. We don't hold any objectives, but we're pushing towards claiming one. That was amazing news, killing Autek Maw. We did pip Warlord, and staying in that combat with the Immortals is great as well, as it prevents us being possibly shot to death by avenging Volkite's next turn. We're going to see what the Iron Hands can throw at us, and then pray for a turn 6, and we can possibly push for the win.
Iron Hands turn 5, movement and shooting. Not a lot left to go. It's a bit of a shame that Autek Maw is dead, but this Immortal squad have stayed on their objective, but advanced forward a little bit so they can pull 3 Volkites in range of those Terminators. So there are 6 shots hitting on 3s. That's not too bad. And we are strength 5, toughness 3, so 4, so 3s to wound. That is 3 wounds on those Terminators.
There we are, so 2 before we get to the Praetor, so 2 at a time. Classic, we lose 1, and the final one saved, so that is 1 wound, 1 Terminator dead. You do get a Deflagrate, a single wound.
Oh, well remembered. I was going to let that one go. Alright, so 3 ups, so no, it doesn't matter. And we will move straight on to combat. Iron Hands turn 5, assault phase, and we go straight into combat with the Immortals and the Grave Wardens, and the Primus Medicae will strike first.
Striking out 3 attacks with his power sword, hitting on 3s. Not bad, all hit. And then wounding on 4s. 2 wounds, I'll take that. So cut to 3-up armor save.
Shield, 5 up. Pass 1, fail 1, and then we have a 5 up, feel no pain. 1 Immortal is dead. So we'll come back in with 6 attacks, requiring 4s. That's all right. We'll take that. That's 4, and then 4s to wound. 1 wound.
A single 2-up armor save. There we go. We don't fail it this time round. Straight on to initiative 1. We have the Grey Wardens 6 attacks back with their chain fists, hitting on 4s. A little better this time. Much better, in fact. 4 hits. Wounding on 2s. Single wound doesn't wound, so that is 3 wounds. Cuts through their armor.
All right, let's go for the shield. Oh, geez. Okay, so 2 drop. So a leadership 8 less 2 is 6. Oh, they love it. And they are still in combat. What an amazing turn. Slight correction there. The Iron Hands lost by 3. And that leadership was failed. So we cannot get swept by the Terminators because they're in Cataphractii Terminator armor. So we will fall back a mighty 8 inches. The Death Guard had a fantastic round of combat there, and after they made the Iron Hands flee, they consolidated 5 inches into the Iron Hands deployment zone. That's the end of turn 5 for both players. However, it's random game length, so we'll see if it goes to another turn.
Here we go, 4 up. Yes, turn 6, Death Guard. Death Guard turn 6, nice and quick. Starting with Grave Wardens, they just march straight up in front of those Iron Hand Immortals. We'll see if we can thin their ranks with some shooting. The Legion Terminator squad with the Praetor, fresh from their victory, just moved 6 straight onto that objective, securing it for the Death Guard. Death Guard turn 6 shooting. The Legion Terminator squad will just try their luck, maybe peel an Immortal off, starting with the Combi Bolter from a Legion Terminator. Single shot, twin linked, that does hit. Strength 4, but effectively only strength 3, so 5s to wound, no. And then we have 2 shots from the Plasma Blast Gun, hitting on 3s. Oh, that's a scatter dice. Yep, 2 hits. No, it gets hot this time, which is great. 2s to wound, only a single wound, unfortunately.
All right, so go 6 up for the shield. Feel no pain. Oh, and that peels one of those Immortals off.
Next up to shoot are the Grave Wardens. We're going to fire our Death Cloud template attack rather than the Assault Grenade Launcher. It's been doing good work for us all game, but the scatters might not have done too well for us. So measuring it all out, we had 14 hits with the template weapons, which is really great. Now poison 3 up. It's not great, but not too bad. So we had 6 fail, but we do have Shred for being a template weapon in Zone Mortalis. That's a bit better. So 3 fail to wound from 14. That is 11 wounding hits. However, the Iron Hands do have their usual nonsense of armor saves, re-rolling, and a feel no pain. So we'll see what we can do.
All right, here we go. So 3 ups, re-rolling. Oh my word, that is good. Oh, bada bing!
Don't even need the feel no pain. All of them shrugged off. Last to shoot, the Primus Medicae will just fire his needle pistol, see if he can do a wound. Hitting on 2s, that is a hit. Poison 4 up, that is a wound. So 3 up armor save, passed. Turn 6, assault phase of the Death Guard. We are going to charge into the Immortal squad we just shot, see if we can possibly knock them off the objective for the win. However, first we have to face that fearsome Overwatch again. All
right, so reactionary fire test 4 or under for the initiative. That is a pass. We'll do the melters first. 1 hit, 2s to wound. That is a wound.
All right, 4 up invulnerable from the Cataphractii plate. Passed, thankfully.
All right, so now we're 16 shots. Got to double hand this. Hang on a minute. Requiring 3s. That is not too bad, I don't think. Oh, yeah, here we go. So reasonable spread of hits there, and we require 3s to wound. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wounds.
All right, we got 2 of these before the Primus Medicae, so 2 at a time. First 2 fail on the first one. 5 up, feel no pain. No, can't keep them in. So 1's dead. 1 at a time for the Primus. All good, all good, all good. Yeah, and the last one saved. So 1 Terminator does go down to Overwatch. Not too bad. Our charge is still a 2-inch charge, and we make it in with a 5. Start of the combat phase, the remaining Grave Wardens and Primus Medicae made it into combat with the Immortals. Striking out, initiative 5 is the Primus Medicae as a Centurion. 3 attacks, hitting on 3s. 2 hits, not too bad, and wounding on 4s. Only 1 wound. The closest is the sergeant. I presume you're going to look out, sir.
Yeah, we're going to bring his breaching charge into play here, so we don't want to lose that opportunity. So 4 up, we pass, and then we go into a breaching shield. 5 up, fail, feel no pain. Yes, there it is. Next to strike at initiative 4 is the Immortal Sergeant. He's using his breaching charge and requires a 4 to hit. Okay, so that is a hit, great stuff. And it does cover the Primus Medicae and a Grave Warden. The stats for that are Strength 8, AP 2. That is 2 wounds. Boris, where are you going to take these?
There we are. So we'll look out, sir, the hit from the Primus Medicae, as it will instant death any of the Marines in that squad. So 2 up. No, classic. Okay, so the 4 up from the first Grave Warden passed, and we'll do the second hit on him as well. Fail. So no feel no pain, so he does die before he gets to strike back.
Oof. Next strike at initiative 4 is the Arrest the Immortal squad. There are 7 members eligible to attack, and they require 4s to hit. Rerolling thanks to Hatred though if we need it. That's not a bad roll. Oh wow, that is a full spread. Now we need 4s to wound. Not bad. 2, 3, 4, 5 wounds left on that Terminator squad.
All right, we'll just do these all at the same time, as we only have 1 Grave Warden before the Primus. 2 up armor saves, all passed. That's what we want to see.
Dirty.
Initiative 1, finally, the last Grave Warden gets a strike back with his Chain Fist. 2 attacks, hitting on 4s. 1 hit, that's not too bad. 2s to wound. Classic. So that is the Death Guard have lost the combat by 1, having lost a single Grave Warden. The Primus is leadership 9, so we need an 8 or under to stay in combat. Oh my word, we rolled a 10, so the Death Guard are running. It is an initiative off, so the Death Guard initiative 5 plus 2, that's not great.
Well, the Immortals have a special rule called Gun Them Down. So we can't sweep.
Oh.
So we will have a bit of a quick check of the rules and we'll come back to you. Just a quick check there, and the Immortals may choose to make a gun them down attack, which they will do because it's kind of Iron Handsy and a bit more fun. So we'll start off with the Melter Guns because they might do the job. 3s to hit. That is 1 hit, and 2s to wound. That is a wound.
All right, 4 up Cataphracti fails, so the Grave Warden accompanying the Primus does die.
All right, and then finally, with the rest of the squad, will attack with their Volkites, and that is 16 attacks, or shots rather. Okay, we need 3s. There's a few there to get rid of. And now we require 3s to wound. Not bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wounds on the Medicae.
All right, Primus Medicae is the last person standing. 2 up armor saves. Fails 2, so we need a single feel no pain to succeed to keep him in the game. Let's see. Double 1 again. Primus dies to Volkite horribly.
Holy hell.
End of Death Guard turn 6. That was really bad from our point of view. Luckily, we didn't need the unit to contest any objectives. We are leaving the Iron Hands firmly in control of their deployment zone. We do have a single squad in control of our objective, so not much to do. We've done the best we can, and we'll have to see if we can squeak through on victory points.
Iron Hands turn 6. Movement and shooting. The Immortals that won the combat, they've moved 6 inches out into the area with the vehicles in it to try and shoot some Volkites down onto those Cataphracti Terminators. And then finally, this Immortal squad have rallied and they have moved within range to claim that objective. And now we will fire 10 Volkite shots down into those Terminators. We require 3s to hit. That is not bad. And we are strength 5, toughness 4, 3s to wound. Very good. 2, 4, 6 wounds down onto those Terminators.
All right. We have 3 before we hit any characters, so we'll do these 3 at a time. 2 ups, all passed, and next 3, all passed.
Whoa. All right, so that concludes the end of the game. It's very close on victory points, so we'll have a quick tot up and we'll come back to you with the results. Wow, what a close game.
Yeah, I've got 4 models left.
Oh, I think I've got around 20, maybe a little bit above, bit below. But What an amazing force, Death Guard. Terminators, all Terminators.
Entire Terminator army. I think if I had to pick one thing that's a downfall of that army, rolling ones and he gets hot, don't do it. I think I killed almost as many Terminators with Gets Hot Plasma as the enemy. But yeah, it was really fun to play with. The entire Cataphractii Terminator army means you don't get any runs, no overwatching, apart from the Grave Wardens get their special exception. Quite liberating because you don't have to think about that much.
It's an easy list, and it can be quite powerful. I mean, if we look at your movement and your progression on the board, you really put out some good movement in that game.
Yeah, for Cataphractii, they did well. I think they managed to kind of daisy chain they won a couple of combats and then consolidated across the board. They could have quite easily been locked into their own deployment zone, and we've seen in some Zone Mortalis. It's actually almost the other way around. The Iron Hands were quite locked in. But I think possibly due to the luck of winning the deployment zone, if the Death Guard had been in the Iron Hands deployment zone, I think it would have been very much them sat castled behind those gates, just waiting or being kept in. But yeah, really interesting to play an entire Terminator army.
Yeah, lots and lots of fun. I think Autic Maul was a little bit unsuccessful. You know, I mean, he died to a Paragon Blade, which, to be fair, is probably fair enough.
That's what they're there for,
but,
to kill characters, really.
Yeah, but those Stalax were useless. But, it was a fun element to the list, and I think it worked. But let's not get carried away. Let's talk about victory points. The Iron Hands managed to get First Blood and had an objective in the game, so they scored 3 points.
Absolutely. The Death Guard got Warlord, and they also secured an objective, so 3 points.
Draw.
Yeah,
Yes.
there we go.
That was so cool. I thought I wasn't sure about this one because the Grave Wardens can pump out so many shots, and we saw 2-3 rounds of shooting. Amazing job.
Absolutely amazing. Just obscene amounts of hits. You don't see it in the video, but the amount of time it took us to do all the scatters and the templates and it took a long time, and it is a scary amount. But then coming up against, I'd say the Immortals are actually tailored to withstand that, as it were.
Oh my god! Rerolls against Blast, amazing. Feel no pain, holy hell, so good. And we saw the dice results. It was just so good.
I think they dropped maybe 3 or 4 Immortals across the entire game when they probably did near 100 wounds throughout the 2 or 3 or 4 turns of shooting they fired their templates. Just scary stuff. But I mean, yeah, just those 3. You effectively were getting 3 saves. 2 arm saves and Feel No Pain against something where you'd normally only get 1. So, but great. It was sort of a movable object versus unstoppable force.
Yeah.
In multiple ways. The Death Guard are normally the static ones, but they put out a lot of hits that game.
Yeah, it was good. And the final thing for me was I loved a bit of breacher charge action. That was pretty cool. I mean, it only killed 1 Terminator, but it was still pretty cool.
Something you don't see very often. It's really fun.
Yeah, really enjoyed that. That's it for us. I mean, final word from me, really. Double height Zone Mortalis, and I've said it about 4 times now, I think. It is really, really cool. But I tell you what, it eats components.
Absolutely. I think you need a few more boxes, maybe. You're not done painting these yet. Yeah.
Need another 10 boxes, I reckon. But if it wasn't for the vehicles inside this compound, then it would have been just a really boring game. Loads of open spaces, not very fun. So I think fighting amongst the vehicles still brought it down to a Zone Mortalis game. And from where I'm standing as well, those Iron Hands flooding through that kind of those 4 doors coming this way into the compound, I mean, to me, it looks really cool. I don't know about you.
It looks awesome, and it's a way to, because you don't see vehicles in Zone Mortalis because they're not allowed.
Yeah.
So it's a really fun way to have your models in the game.
Yeah. They're
just scenery, but that's great. You can put all that work into painting them. Why not use them?
Exactly. And one final thing. This is the final thing. We've had a lot of comments this evening about how do the vehicles get out, because the doors are too narrow. You're absolutely right. But on aircraft carriers, and they bring the airplanes from the lower deck, or helicopters from the lower deck, I'm sure there's one of those in there somewhere. Maybe I need to get some hazard tape, and
there you go, yeah,
and that'll make sure it goes up and down. Maybe that's something to think about in the future. I don't know, but I don't know. It's something else to talk about. It's really late here. Boris and I are sweating. It's hot. We're hungry and we're tired. But we've put out a good game, I reckon. Thank you so much to Pete for the loan of these Death Guard. They are really cool.
They're absolutely gorgeous. As someone who's weathering white currently,
a
lot of inspiration. So good. Well done.
Yeah, awesome stuff. All right, Boris, thank you so much for the game.
Thank you for having us.
Pleasure. And we will see you again very, very soon.